During the operation, the pieces of machines and machineries are abraded, but in the production of new ones are often needed to get the surface layers having some special qualities: increased hardness, corrosion stability, wear resistance. For these purposes are widely applied various ways of welded overlay. In some cases, impossible to apply the welded overlay because of significant heat input to the parent metal that leads to the changes of the structure, properties and deformation of some component. The achievement of the target is carried out with the method of gasometrical spraying by applying the repair technology using the complex of electric arc furnace metallization KEM-1 STC PROMAVTOSVARKA production. Certificate of Compliance UA 10250.000518. At the same time, the burnout details are restored up to nominal size, eliminating different mechanical damages, forming the required geometrical shape and surface properties. Metallization is an electric arc furnace process of spraying using two wires melted with electric arc. The arc with the temperature of 5,000–6,000 Celsius continuously melts these wires. The compressed gas, mostly air, spray the melted metal of wires and send the drops of metal to the detailed surface with the speed more than 100 meters per second, forming the covering. Due to the combination of high temperature and high speed of drops, turned out the covering with special properties, with high strengths of coupling and low porosity. The electric arc furnace metallization is a cold process of thermal spraying whereby the temperature of detailed surface does not exceed 150 degrees of Celsius. It excludes the changes in the structure of metal or deformation. The electric arc furnace metallization process has high productivity and low maintenance charges. Moreover, it's a safe process which doesn't require the usage of oxygen, kerosene or combustible gas that reduce the price of covering. There is a possibility of using two different types of wire during the metallization to obtain new covering combinations. One of the main directions of usage of arc metallization detail recovering by means of coating with special properties. The coated material should be current conducting. The most often used materials are mainly different in composition of metal wires with solid cross-section. Some characteristics of metallization process: productivity from 2.5 till 40 kilograms per hour, thickness of coating from 0.1 till 5 millimeters, density of coating 97%. The work phases include surface preparation, components cleaning and washing, pre-treatment to obtain the required surface roughness through milling of turn thread, milling of annular groove, knurl, serration, etc., followed by spraying with quality control. After metallization, for the obtaining the required size, accuracy and surface cleanliness if necessary, it should be produced the mechanical processing of articles. The characteristics of coupling strengths of sprayed layer after different types of surface preparation before spraying are provided below. Model rehabilitation work of geometrical size includes mountain seat rehabilitation of shaft journal for rolling bearings, working surface rehabilitation of shafts for different uses, axle journal rehabilitation of rail freight traffic wheel pair, baby-bit elements rehabilitation, cast iron components, etc. The technologies of metallization are widespread used not only for recovery of worn components geometry, but also for surface formation with special properties and their combinations such as wear resistance, hardness, abrasive and erosion proof, friction and anti-friction properties, current conduction properties, corrosion proof, etc. Some examples of covering selection: All the materials covered during the gasometrical spraying process have the ability, while getting cold, to compress. Due to compression, appears the voltage inside the surface being treated that may lead to the cracking or cover separation. The level of compression depends on material used. Studies have shown that 13% chrome steel has the lowest level of compression, and stainless steel 18, 8 and carbon steel has the highest one. All the works made by STC PROMAVTOSVARKA on pre-production models by application of various metals and wires confirm the results of these studies. One of the most widespread uses of arc metallization is the axial journal rehabilitation of wheel pair. Using arc metallizators and power supply equipment and general-purpose low-cost wires have been developed the technologies providing full axle recovery with the properties at the level of new. For the axial journal rehabilitation of wheel pair, some technical specifications have been developed, approved by MEA, and have been created some special areas for spray metallization in railway depots in Russia, Ukraine, Ilvaisk, Kyrgyzstan, Belarus and Kazakhstan. On the railway roads of these countries have been introduced more than 40 of such areas. More than 500 wheel pair of model axle has been passed the in-service inspection, which showed an excellent quality of covering. Period of covering outlays for the recovery in from 3 till 6 months depending on the amount of work. The process of spraying can be easily amenable to automation. The tests showed that after pressing and pressing out of bearings rings, the size of sprayed axle journal haven't changed. Based on positive experience of arc metallization appliance was received an MEA permission for such kind of repair work of wheel pair worn out axle journal of traction rolling stock at the agent depots and the locomotive repair plants. One of example of using the arc metallization is the repair of slider bearing of compressor TVD8 for Ilyich Iron and Steel Works, made by the experts of STC PROMAVTOSVARKA on its test area. The recovery of bearing compressors generators by means of arc metallization babbitt covering could be recommended with assurance for repair work. A broad range of materials for arc metallization give the opportunity to choose the way of appliance of the most optimal coverings that make it possible significantly to increase industrial safety and achieve an economical effect by means of value engineering for deposition of protective coatings, as well as through increasing overall cycle and reducing the amount of repair works. We thank you for attention and we look forward to being in touch.